Wife cheated with my horrible coworker who's made my job hell. Turns out he's married too, so I partnered with AP's wife to rip them off financially. I, 36M, found my wife, Julie, 32F, with my colleague, Marcus, making out on the patio at the Christmas party. Marcus works for the same department as me. I'm yet to have any confrontation with Julie, so whatever I'm writing is as per what I have seen and circumstantial evidence. I suspect their affair started after the last Christmas party, but they had cleverly been hiding it. I was new at this workplace and it was my first office party. Okay, before that, Marcus and I didn't share a good bond at work. Not because I was new, but because he considered me a threat. In the very first week of my joining, I was handed over some of Marcus' tasks which I efficiently automated using my software skills. The work that Marcus took a week to do, I delivered it in 3 days, which impressed everyone but Marcus. He tried different ways to find a loophole in my work, but he couldn't. He was heavily criticized by the management for not thinking something similar to me. However, this didn't help me much in the office. Marcus was a popular guy, more of an imposter and gossip monger. People love gossip, don't they? So he was the wannabe in every office group. Whereas I'm more of an introverted person who likes to keep it to myself. I go to work, fulfill my responsibilities, and head back home. I was happy with my small circle of college buddies and my wife. 2 months later, we had this annual Christmas party at work. I showed up with my wife. Julie is definitely a beautiful woman and a head turner at any party. She makes sure to dress up well to show off her perfect symmetrical assets. Julie and I were enjoying and bonding with other coworkers. As the night grew, people started hitting the dance floor. Julie insisted that we dance, but I refused. Not a confident dancer, definitely not at office parties. I think Marcus would have noticed that. Because the next moment, I saw him approaching our table and asking for my wife's hand to dance. She looked at me and I smiled. I can't say no in that situation. I thought she would turn him down knowing the history between us, but Julie obliged and danced with him. I couldn't help but notice the grin on his face when he took her to the dance floor. When she came back, she was full of energy and laughter. Seeing my grim face, she said, "Oh, don't be mad. How could I refuse him? It would have been so rude." So I had to oblige. I realized she was right and it was just a dance. Eventually, I forgot about it. I got busy at work and didn't ever imagine that my wife would be fooling around with the person who has been my pain in the ass for a year. This Christmas party, yesterday, I showed up with my wife again. She hit the dance floor with some of my female colleagues but soon was seen grooving with Marcus. I was like, what the hell? But I had to pretend cool about it. Other colleagues were quick to notice it and they exchanged glances. Everyone is aware of the Cold War between Marcus and me. One of them, Noah, remarked, "This is why Marcus doesn't bring his wife along so he could shake off others' wife's booty." My face was flustered by his comment. I asked him to mind his language. He apologized and said he was just being funny. To make the situation lighter, other colleagues started the debate about whether Marcus is married because he claims to be single. Few of the suspects he's married, but he has been hiding it so that he could have open chances with the juniors. Noah was certain that Marcus was married, but no one believed him fully because of his prankster image. He said his sister runs a salon and one day he had dropped by to meet her. There he bumped into Marcus, who was accompanying his wife for a grooming session. Everyone just laughed at this, thinking he was making this up. I felt suffocated sitting there and watching Julie shake off her booty with Marcus. I went to the patio to get some fresh air. Few minutes later, I heard someone's footsteps approaching towards outside. I ignored it, but as they came closer, I heard their giggles and moans as if they were making out on their way to the patio. To avoid getting bumped into, I hid in the corner at the back to escape from there once they were in.